no matter what. I'm feeling great.
Hello and welcome to Light of Knowledge. Salam, Shalom, Shanti, Peace. They are all different names to describe the universal energy that binds each of us. Every religion that has known to have existed talks about peace. Wise men, common men, everyone is in search of it and can't get enough of it. Why do we crave for peace? What draws us towards it? Let's discuss this and much more with Sister Shreya from the Brahma Kumaris. Welcome to the show, Sister.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
You know, Sister, everyone talks about searching for peace. And at times we tend to believe that peace lies within. But if peace does lie within, and if I have to speak for myself, why do I find myself anxious, frustrated, angry, irritated at so many moments in my life?
Yeah, peace is one of the most commonly talked subjects. You have peace conference, you have people craving for peace. And yes, what you said is true, that there is peace within, which is the truth actually. If you look at any religious text, or even if you look at the spirituality, peace is the original nature of the soul. It's more like I am peace. But then again, we don't feel it anymore because we're looking at the wrong place. It's like, have you ever gone through a situation where you have your specs, somewhere on top of your head, and you're kind of looking at all over the place, or you have your keys in your pocket and you're searching everywhere, and suddenly you realize it's not there, it's within. It's something like that. It's more like if you see people, during the day or even in relationship, even at workplace, what they're creating all day is stress, anger, fear, and they say it's right. They will put these very nice labels saying it's positive stress. Yeah. And then they say righteous anger. Yeah. And then they say healthy competition, healthy argument. Yeah. So you create all that. And by the end of the day, what you're craving for is actually peace. So it's very difficult, it's more like a very conflicting situation because you're creating one thing and you're craving something else.
But that's strange, isn't it, Sister? Because when you're saying, I am peace,
then
why do I need it? Why do I search for it? Why am I always, begging for it? I should be able to just tap in at any moment in time and bring that energy to the surface. Why is it so difficult?
It is not difficult, but we don't tap into it. We don't tap into the awareness of I am peace. We tap into the awareness of, today if you meet people, they'll be like, oh, I'm such a warrior. Oh, this happened and I got irritated, and this happened and I got angry. How many people say, oh, there was a situation and I just reflected and I tapped into my peace and I was okay?
So it's that easy to just tap?
It's actually very easy. It's more the game of awareness. It's like you've both the sanskar. I don't know if people really understand what peace is. When you talk about peace, it'll be like very passive state. Sometimes people think, oh, it's very passive, you're not doing anything. But when we say peace, we're just saying that there is this state of calm, there is stability, there isn't your thoughts going all over the place. You're just very stable. So, but in a situation, you're anything but stable.
Yeah.
And you choose to create all that upheaval. And then you crave for peace.
Because now as you talk, I'm thinking about all the scenarios in my life where I've been anything but peaceful. For example, going for a flight and you're waiting in the car, you're going to be so late. You're going to miss the flight because there's so much of traffic jam. And that moment, tapping into yourself for peace seems really next to impossible.
Depends. There are too many perspectives to what you're saying. One is, we are into the habit of leaving late. That one thing is that I leave home late, and the moment I sit into the car, I'm all the time worrying whether I will reach on time, The other is, what you're saying is possible that you leave on time or maybe before time, and it's a sudden situation on which you have no control. So there's this traffic, and there are chances that you may miss the flight. There are also the chances that you may not miss the flight. But sitting in the car, what is that you think about?
There's this whole mental commentary, sister, to be honest, and there are so many thoughts that come to my mind.
Even more than the thoughts, what do you see? What do you keep seeing?
I keep seeing myself reaching late, the counter closing.
But why do I keep seeing myself reaching late? Why can't I see myself reaching on time?
Because I don't think I'll make it. I'll be there by the skin of my teeth. I'm really late. I'm in traffic. So all the time there's this inner voice telling me you're going to be late, the counter's going to close, you're going to miss the flight. If you miss the flight, there's going to be this huge reduction from your salary. The company's not going to bear the cost. It goes on and on.
And that is creating the peacelessness. The mental commentary that's going on, which is very rightly you just put across very nicely. At least you're aware of what's going in our mind. Most of the time people are not even aware, and they feel this commentary is coming to them on their own. But the very big realization is, this is the commentary that you're creating.
But this honestly, is where it does come on its own. It's not like I choose to say, do I choose to say? It's not like I choose to say I'm going to miss my flight. The thought emerges. Flight is missed.
So are you saying you have no choice at that time to think something else and not think this? Give it a moment.
Okay.
We realize that it's the mental chatter. See, every thought will lead to a feeling. This is something that we have to understand, that the feeling is something that we create within. So we talk about feeling peace and we talk about feeling anxious. Okay?
Right.
So we are in a situation right now. We're moving to the airport. We have a flight to catch. It's an important flight and we're getting late.
Yeah.
And here there are these two feelings. We can either feel anxious and we can either feel peace. Now I am feeling all anxious, and the immediate reaction is, I am feeling anxious because I'm going to miss the flight. Yeah? That's what I will say. I am feeling anxious because I will miss the flight, which is fine. But in that moment, I have to ask myself, yes, there's a situation that I can do nothing about it. I could only leave on time. I in fact left before time. Now I'm stuck here. Now I have to do something, but the very first thing before I do anything externally, I have to take care of myself. And taking care of myself is, I am peace, I have to take care of my peace. When you left the home, when you just sat in your car, were you peaceful or were you anxious?
I was peaceful because I had budgeted enough time to reach the airport.
And what was peace then for you? Like when I say, okay, you were peaceful, so what were you when you were sitting in the car? How was your state of mind?
I was carefree, looking out of the window, checking my mail. And then all of a sudden there was traffic.
Yeah.
And then peace just flew out of the window.
So see like how it goes. So you were carefree, you were checking your mails, you were just not anxious or stressful or anything, and the moment there was a situation, there was a lot of traffic. So traffic, something that comes from outside and then you have no control over it. But you started to think about the traffic which you have no control over.
But isn't the traffic the cause of my anxiety?
If traffic is the cause of my anxiety, then everyone who is stuck in traffic is going to get anxious.
Okay.
But you don't see that happening.
Yeah.
You don't see that happening. You see so many people stuck in traffic and you see everybody getting anxious. Or let's make it, let's say that everybody who has a flight and everybody there on the road has the same flight to catch, just making it worse, has the same flight to catch and is getting late. The same situation for everyone. You see everyone. Do you think everyone will get anxious?
No, I think each one would choose to respond differently.
Differently? So if each one is responding differently, that means who is responding?
The person.
I am responding.
I am,
Situation is not in my control, but I am responding. I have a choice. Now the choice lies here where you just said, do I have a choice? If I didn't have a choice, then everybody who was there on the road is going to behave in the same manner. But they don't. There are some people, and it's not what we do. We become very doing personalities. So we all the time think of what I should do. So, we'll scream at the driver, or we'll scream at the people, or we'll get all up and down. But we don't have to do. The first thing that we think about is to be.
To be what, sister?
To be peaceful.
To be peaceful. Okay.
To be peaceful, to be stable, to be calm. So now we come to the mental commentary. I have a choice what I create in my mind. Is those couple of thoughts that make you go down like this. Some of these psychologists, some of the researchers, they have shared this research that in 1 minute you have around 40 thoughts.
Okay.
In 1 minute.
Okay.
And when you're in stress or you're anxious, they can go up and down. So you can just imagine. So it takes 1 minute. It takes 1 minute to come down like this. 1 minute. That's all it takes. 1 minute. 30 seconds. And in 30 seconds, if you leave the control and I say I have no choice, gone.
So when you say I'm making this choice, what is it that I'm saying to myself?
Exactly what you said sometime back, that I'm going to get late. I don't have a choice. What will happen? This amount is going to get deducted from my salary, this, that. Now I can reverse the commentary.
Okay.
I can reverse the commentary. I can sit there and can say, okay, this is not in my control, but what I can do, this is a situation, there's a traffic, but I have to take care of myself. I accept this scene as it is. Let me now think of all the options which are available, how I can make to the flight. If I can't, who I need to inform, who I need to communicate, how can I take a different route? Can I ask the driver if he knows a different route?
That's something very powerful you said, sister. I accept that situation, which is actually one of the toughest things to do when you have to face some negative consequences.
Yes. That's the first thing, The first thing is to keep yourself calm. You just accept the way the things are. It's not a passive stage. You are accepting things which are not in your control. Situation, in Hindi we call it paristhiti, which means paristhiti, it comes from outside, par. It comes from outside. So in that moment, the first and the foremost thing that you have to take care of is of swasthiti, which is my own stage. I have to take care of it. And the moment you accept it, you don't experience the pain.
Okay.
The moment you accept, okay, this is the scene, this is what's going to happen, then you start thinking about what I can do. You become more solution oriented, but when you expect, you create more problems. You don't even realize, but you create more problems.
So the first is the choice.
The first is the choice.
To be. Then you accept.
The first is the realization that I am the creator of all these thoughts. Even before the choice is the realization that the mental chattering which is happening in my mind, it is not coming on its own. You know why we feel it's coming on its own? It's a habit. We've done it so many times and we've kind of told ourselves that it's natural and I don't have a choice. Now it's become a habit. Habits are very deep, like we talked last time also. Habit becomes so natural that there's no margin for you to even make that choice sometimes. It's so forceful, it's so natural. So it just comes. And the easiest way is to blame it on something. So you blame your stress on the traffic.
I think that's what we thought, right? That the problem is always outside. It's never you that has created that kind of pain and that kind of stress.
Yes. It's like, we kind of live that way, It's very easy to shift the responsibility. So every time you are experiencing anxiety or every time you experience stress, you want to shift responsibility. Because when you shift responsibility, then you wait for the change to happen there. So then you start thinking of all the ways, the government is not doing something, the PMC is not doing something, the people are not doing something. And then the commentary is more about how they are driving. How they're not driving properly, how the traffic police is not doing anything. So you start controlling many other things which is not again in your control. Because you want to shift the blame. You want to shift it on somebody. And the moment you shift it on somebody, you're free.
It is a little bit of freedom, no? When you put the blame on somebody else, and especially when you're in a scenario where there's a lot of pressure on you.
Yes.
I think it's kind of easier on you to, say, it's not my mistake. It's somebody else's mistake. It's somebody else's problem.
It kind of makes you feel good because you don't have to change and somebody else who has to change, and you can create a little bit of anger in that moment and feel, that anger sometimes comes out on the driver. He also goes up and down. So maybe it can give you a little bit of freedom, make you feel a little good, but it's not the solution.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not the solution in the sense you lose your state of mind, in the sense you feel very peaceless, you feel very disturbed by now.
So all that entire journey from home till the airport, there's this whole negative commentary going on in my head again and again and again. And then I finally reach the airport.
Yes.
And it's like a couple of minutes before the boarding can close.
Both can happen. There's also a chance that boarding can close. Things happen. You know, we have to really realize that things happen.
So all that pent-up irritation that I had, that negative commentary,
Yeah.
I'll just blow it up on that poor little lady sitting at the counter and say, you have to get me in.
Yeah.
I have to take that flight. Or I'll scream at the security guard. I'll break the queue. So there are I don't know, at least from my own experience, that irritation that I built up the entire journey comes out so nastily in terms of aggression or anger on the people around.
And then, so what is it? You're not in control. So when you're angry, that's why they sometimes say it's temporary insanity. So if you look at it, and sometimes people who are very angry feel very powerful, you know. They think they can control people. And yeah, I mean, when you're talking, I remember a couple of scenes happening on the airport. So sometimes you can get things done from anger, with anger using this tool. But sometimes if you see in airport, they're very strict. So you can create a scene. You can do all the drama. And sometimes they will just come and be very assertive, be very calm and will not allow you.
Actually, because, I've seen people coming to the airport and saying, I know your seniors. You don't know who I am. I'll make a couple of phone calls. And the other person on the other side, the person from the airline will keep repeating the same thing in a very stable manner, like a tape recorder. No, sir, I'm sorry. I can't do it. Even despite the fact that they may threaten that I'll never fly by this airline again.
Yeah.
But it's so difficult. If I have to put myself in the shoes of that other person, the person from the airline who has to face this irate customer.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to stand there and muster the courage to be stable when you're getting this whole wave of negative energy, maybe even abuse.
So again, we come back to the choice that the other person has. They always have a choice, and sometimes it's programmed so well in them, and that's so beautiful. You see people from service industry and you can throw a wave of negative energy at them. You can insult them. You can say rude things to them and you see them very calm. And you see them answering also with a lot of stability, with a lot of confidence, with a lot of assertiveness. That I'm so sorry, it's done, I can't allow you. If it's possible for them, they allow you. If it's not possible, they stick to it. And you can use all the threats that you want. You've done that. But they stay very calm. But again, two things happen in this area. Sometimes you can create a very calm demeanor here. The very calm facade here. Because you've learned it. You can learn that ask.
And your job depends on it.
Your job depends on that. You can learn. It's an art, It's not very difficult. So maybe inside there's a storm. Maybe inside she's also cursing and throwing all the insults. But outwardly, if you see, it's very calm. It's very assertive, but I will not call that assertive. Actually, she is also angry, but it's more a suppressed form of anger. It's there, but it's more suppressed. And she's not getting angry in that expressive way because the job depends on that. She's going to lose the salary. But both are peaceless.
So I'm sure there may be many from the service industry watching our show. What would be your advice to them, sister? When they're faced, they have to keep that smile.
Yes.
And they're faced with sometimes very difficult customers.
Yeah.
So what is it that they need to do? Make the same choice?
See, if you see here, it's very beautiful, it's very wonderful to see that there's one who's angry, but his way of anger is expression, expressing, getting aggressive, throwing a lot of insults, throwing negative energy. And there's the other person on the other side who is also very angry, very peaceless, not stable, but she's suppressing it.
Yeah.
In a way, both are experiencing the same form of energy. Outwardly, it may look that this person has lost control and this person is more in control. The air hostess is more in control and this person is quite out of control. But actually, if you think and if you realize now, both are out of control.
Even the one who's suppressing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even the one who's suppressing it. But what is she feeling within? She's not hurling insults, but what is she feeling inside?
There must be negative mental chatter again.
There's negative chatter. No, what kind of customers are there? Sometimes you go like, oh, they look so nice. They're all dressed up so well. When they open their mouth, it's not so nice. You know, you can.
Yeah, and she must say, I hate my job.
I hate my job, or you know, I hate this part of my job. I hate this part to deal with these people. What do they think? You know, sometimes you feel, oh, they have purchased us, they've bought us. How can they talk to us like this? And that kind of commentary can go in her mind, and this kind of commentary. So both are kind of, it's like the exchange of negative energy. Both are getting depleted.
Yeah.
But both have a choice.
So even the person from the service industry, she has a choice when that client is being very nasty to her. She has a choice to say, I'm going to be peaceful and I'm going to respond assertively.
Yeah, she has a choice. So the choice is not that I'm going to be peaceful, I'm going to be assertive. That's a choice that you've already made before. It's like these two things, whether I want to be peaceful or whether I want to be anxious, you've already made a choice. It's more like, it's the perfume you want to use for the day.
Okay.
It's the virtue you want to experiment in the day. And it's something that you can experiment whether it works or not. And more than working at the other people, it's very important that I take care of myself. I have the whole day of work in front of me. If I lose that peace, my work is going to get affected. So there, when she's standing there, she has a choice. And when she can keep this face very calm, she can also keep her thoughts positive. She is choosing to get upset. She's choosing to get irritated. She's choosing that mental commentary. She in that moment can just choose, okay, I understand. This person probably had a very important flight and has missed it. It could be very important. Maybe the child is waiting at the other end. Maybe it was some big appointment. Maybe it was something. It's very important for him. But I have to play my role.
So what she's doing is putting herself in their shoes.
Yes, yes. You know, that way you don't get angry on the other person, but you feel a little empathy for the other person.
Yeah.
It's just a choice. The moment you shift the commentary, you start feeling sympathetic. And there are times when people have something very, very urgent. We may not realize, and they think that by using the tool of anger, they will get through.
But it does work, sister, sometimes, you know, when you really throw a scene at the airport, sometimes the staff may really get intimidated by you. Or you may be really somebody very influential. And, you know, they may buckle under the pressure. And at that time, the person who's throwing that whole tantrum feels that, you know, hey, I got things done. And this method worked for me.
Yes. You kind of feel very superior. You kind of feel very good.
Yeah.
Actually, you're right. You know, there are times when things do happen. When we get angry and we get the results, that's where I think this belief starts that anger is good. It's once or twice I've gotten angry and the person on the other end may not be very strong, where he could say no, or, you know, maybe under an inferior position, or I'm like a superior, or they fear their job or something, you know, can use the influence or the position. So under fear, it's not probably they want to do it.
Okay.
Anger can create a lot of fear, no? You can invoke so much fear in the other person.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all had those experiences when we didn't want to do something.
Yeah, but we did it to save
We
our
did
jobs.
it. We did it to save our jobs or something. So under fear, I can do it. But when I do something under fear, I will still think about you.
Not in a very nice way.
Not in a very nice way, because I was forced to do something. I was forced to do something. I didn't want to do it. You used your position in not a very nice manner. And of course, my job is very, very important. So you will create fear, you invoke fear, and people are very weak sometimes. So they give in to that fear. And of course, their conscience is pricking also within if they're doing something wrong. But you see a lot of people giving into those fears.
Yeah.
But then these people are thinking beings. See, even when they're doing something for you, they're going to think.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of this negative energy back. So again, yes, the work gets done.
Yeah, the work gets done.
But you don't feel good.
Yeah. Because sometimes after you use a method and you get success, it's human nature to use that method again and again and again.
You're going to get addicted to it.
Yeah.
You want to use it again and again, because maybe the priority for you is not to feel good. The priority for you is to get work done.
Yeah.
So they're two different things. What is my priority? To feel good and do things feeling good?
So to be honest, sister, I think in the corporate world, it's getting the work done that is given more priority than the whole feel good. But I would like to explore this bit in our next episode. So thank you for now, and we will discuss this in the next episode.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
So I hope you enjoyed the conversation as well. As for me, I think it was a big aha moment when I finally realized that it's not the external situation, but me who is the creator of my thoughts. It's not the traffic, but my mental commentary that makes me irritated or angry. And I think going forward, I'm going to apply a lot of what Sister Shreya has said, which is making the choice, accepting the situation, and confronting it with a lot of peace and stability. Thank you for watching. Do join us in our next episode. Take care.